Hello everybody, greetings to you. I hope you had a wonderful week. This week's gospel is going to challenge your view of fairness. What is fair? And is your life fair? Behind me is the Schenectady County Courthouse. Maybe you've served on jury duty, or perhaps you've been part of a lawsuit. God forbid, that's a difficult experience, either as the plaintiff or the defendant. But it may have happened to any of us across the years of our lives, and we arrive here. But at the courthouse, there is a sense of fundamental fairness in the justice system. The ancient jurist Celsus defined the law as jus est ars boni et aequi, which means in English, law is the art of what is good and equitable. And the key word is art. For the law is not a precise science. Application of the law always involves experience and also equity, and applying the law so that equity may be served. For example, if two parties enter the state of marriage and there is some kind of prenuptial agreement, they have no assets at the time of the wedding, and they make some agreement that at the end, God forbid, that there is some division, that each party leaves with what each party came in with. And in the course of the marriage, let's say one of the parties becomes the CEO of a major company and has assets now of $100 million. And the other party still to their name has zero. And God forbid, let's say there's a separation and a divorce 20 years later. Do you believe any court will enforce such a prenuptial agreement so that one party leaves with zero and the other party with $100 million? After all, it was community property earned as the two became one during the course of the life of marriage. And so applying a prenuptial agreement just in the terms of the wording of the contract would be in accord precisely with what the two parties signed. But enforcing that contract 20 years later would be out of equity. For one party would have $100 million and the other zero. What is fair? Is it precisely as the contract prescribes? Or is it something different? How has God spoken to you and me in the course of our lives? There is an understanding of fairness that is far different than what may be prescribed in statutes or even in case law, which the judges behind me are bound to apply when they consider various cases that are before the bench. And so, in the course of this week's gospel, I want you to listen very carefully to God's sense of justice and God's application of what is good and equitable, and see where your life may cohere with the life of God and what the good Lord presents to you as a way that you and I can be ministers of equity in the way we deal with each other, not just as judges, but moreover as ministers of the gospel. That's most important, and it is certainly the measure by which we will be judged before the tribunal of Jesus Christ. See you in a few moments at Mass.